back at Hawkesbury Junction. We're just approaching junction right now. Again, I assume this narrow section ahead was a stop block at some point, next to, I don't know, a pumping house or some sort of building which has been saved. We will shortly pass through Hawkesbury Junction, which we came through yesterday, and we came from the North Oxford Canal, or Oxford North Canal, depends on your persuasion. This time we're not going to go left and through back to North Oxford. We have reserved our space in the basin at Coventry Wharf, which is quite interesting. I'm quite looking forward to that. Not as sunny as yesterday when we first came through on our way to the Ashby. Hi. Hopefully our aim is to stay here tomorrow evening or somewhere around this area. So that is what we went through yesterday. We'll go straight on today, 5.5 miles to the Coventry Basin, not Wharf, sorry. A lot of these beautiful cast iron bridges in this area. And this was built in 1837 by the Britannia Foundry in Derby, and J. Sinclair was the engineer, and that's the famous pub, the Greyhound. Some interesting artwork on the bridge here, depicting kingfishers, fishes, and after the pool, that looks like a live bird to me, which is probably, maybe it's a heron, I don't know. But it's really quite nice. We're on our way into Coventry now, towards the basin. We've never really done much urban cruising or canal boating, whatever the correct phrase is, I don't know. But one thing which is completely different is obviously the ambient noise. I'm fast underneath the motorway in the Coventry area. It's a bit different, I wouldn't do it all the time, this thing, but it was actually quite nice. So I've tried something different. And enjoy the city of Coventry, which I haven't been to for a very, very long time. The last time I came to Coventry was to see Liverpool give Coventry a damn good thrashing in, gosh, 1987 I think it was, or 88. We obviously won, so it doesn't really matter. We normally won the league in those days, so it was all rudimentary. There we have a Canal River Trust worker taking his little boat back, no doubt, I suspect, to Hawkesbury Junction. Hi. Pleased to say it's brightened up, and the journey into Coventry is actually a lot more pleasant than I expected. and everyone's very friendly and says hello and waves, which is really quite nice. We just passed our first pub called the Longford, I think, Longford Engine, and we're just about to go under bridge number 10. Oh, there you go, J.E. Hackett and Sons Funeral Directors, there you go. That's not a plug, we're not getting sponsored by them. Yeah, the Longford Engine, that's what that pub's called. It's been quite nice actually, I'm quite enjoying it. I've been a city cruise so far.
Over to rain, which is handy because we're now at Coventry Basin. And our parking spot is behind these two boats. just like parking a car.
Nice sunny evening just as we arrived. The feed down as we return in the boat. We were reserved in section B. There's no indication where section B is. But we'll just walk this way. Our fellow boaters are here today, and there's a couple of boats over there. It's jolly nice, sunny evening. But the narrowboat tree is next to Aurora, and we arrive more or less together. Let's do a quick 180 and reverse through the gap and across to our right hand side there, next to the wharf there. Last night in pretty crappy weather, we arrived at Coventry Basin and we moored up next to the boat in the visitor moorings, and we're going to have a little wander around Coventry this morning. I think it's being nicely restored, this basin, and obviously we're walking along now showing you the area. I think there's a Canal and River Trust office over there, or both, and Wharf is used for many things. The buildings on the other side are shops. There's an off licence, got a Lithuanian store and a Portuguese mini store, and obviously the reason we're here today is there's a statue of James Brindley, who died in 1772, but he was the builder of this canal and no doubt many other canals. But it's a beautiful sunny morning. The only other thing we need to do before we set off today, we are hopefully going to visit Steve from Narrowboat Precious Jet this afternoon, see how he's getting on with his boat restoration, and well, there we are at the end of the wharf. Inside Coventry Cathedral, and it was deliberately left in this state to show future generations, I suppose, the cost of war, the cost of lots of things. But during the Blitz in the 1940s and the Second World War, Coventry, like other cities, bore the brunt of German or Nazi bombing by the Luftwaffe. And they built a brand new cathedral next door, which we won't go into, but we'll see the entrance. It's a very modern building compared to traditional churches that you normally see, like this one. And this is actually where the altar was. Our way out now. And as you come out, you'll see the modern cathedral, or sort of centre, at least the entrance to it. And Even Mrs. M's caught up in the moment of culture. I got you. It's quite moving actually. Wow, it's quite modern. There we go. This is the old cathedral. And it's quite moving inside, to be fair, it's quite touching. And then the new one, which you've just had a little glimpse of, it really is quite impressive as a structure. I'm not a religious person, but it is quite impressive, I have to say. So we've just left the Coventry Basin and about 100 yards outside the basin. Bizarrely, I didn't see a Wharf point in the basin, but there might be one. We're doing a Canal version of the replenishment at sea exercise, or topping up our water tanks, and your key that comes with every lifeboat, but with every canal boat hire, opens up the water points and toilet points, and we're filling our water as we speak. We had actually quite a nice stay in Coventry. We walked up to the cathedral. A look around there, it's very nice. Everyone's very friendly. The Canal and River Road Trust people are all very chatty and helpful. We were doing an awful lot of school parties this morning, so they were doing their bit. But we'll play along, and then soon, hopefully, on our way to the Steve Tyrrell and his narrowboat Precious Jet. We're just leaving Coventry now on our way to Swan Lane Wharf. All new property on the canal side, all very nice. People feed the ducks. Obviously in the last couple of decades there's been quite a bit of redevelopment, and you know, Coventry was nice. We enjoyed our one night in morning there. A very hospitable place. I assume are named after the companies that were originally on the site. But yeah, it's quite small, so snappy places, looks quite trendy. A bit more overcast today than previous days, but given the forecast was rain all day, I'm quite happy with the overcast. Certainly staying dry at this point. Now, obviously in the city is a bit of graffiti or canal side art. That's quite good. We noticed this on the way through yesterday. The other end of this factory unit, someone's obviously put a lot of care and attention to their smoking break facilities. As we approach it, you'll see 2 armchairs and a stool, and a little coffee table made out of an old cable drum. Well, I suppose if you're going to smoke, you might as well be sociable. Oh, you hang your washing up there too. Impressive. smoke too soon. It's now peeing down. Oh, friendly fisherman who just passed it, actually smoking something a bit more riper than just tobacco. Put it that way, folks. Sun's come out, so I don't need my standard waterproof stage 1 gear. I can take that off, but it's actually quite nice. And we're obviously coming out of Coventry now. We're passing all these terrace houses, streets. It's actually not what I expected. This trip up and down this part of the Coventry Canal, it's actually been far better than my inbuilt prejudices, I'm guessing, thought it might be. So thanks very much, Coventry, for our stay. I'm on our way now to Swan Wharf to meet Steve. Go to our next bridge. I remember this from our trip yesterday. It's quite a tight-ish turn, and it's blindsided, so hopefully nothing is coming the other way. But the other remarkable thing, or the two remarkable things, was the local chicken shop, and this seems to be home to all the pigeons of the Coventry Canal, and we'll go through underneath and see them. They're all out. Oh, monkey dead one there. Obviously a lot of effort's gone in to improve the canal bank as well as the local environment. The only thing is, you've got this posh canal path. There doesn't seem to be any bollards or ringlets to put your ropes through, so I assume you wouldn't be keen on, or wouldn't like you putting a stake in to tie up against the moor. So I'm not quite sure what you do on this, but anybody who does canal boats, please would be happy to message me and let me know. But it's very smart. There we are, just moored up next to Swan Wharf. And there are all the boats, including Narrowboat Precious Jet. Right, here we are now. We've made it to Swan Wharf and Precious Jet, and Stevie's, look, he's vain buggy, he's took his glasses off. Just a quick word, have you enjoyed doing the project so far?
Yeah, it's been really good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's not what I expected, because I only expected to do a little bit of work in the back of the boat, but as it turns out, there was the whole floor was rotten, so I've had to take out the whole floor and do the whole boat. So it's a bit more than I expected, but I've enjoyed it. It's good.
So if you want to find out about Steve and his adventures on Narrowboat Precious Jet, see the link below, and you see all the episodes of how he's restoring this fantastic boat. I won't go show you inside, save all that for his own channel, but it's all in there. And it's say more information, click on the link and you enjoy it like I do. Some displays about the history of the canal, and here is one of the arse installations, and I say there's several on the way through. Approaching bridge number 5. Now we're heading out towards Hawkesbury Junction, and one of the things about urban cruising that obviously you have to take into account is the actual noise of what's around you. And even Hawkesbury Junction through to Anstey on the Oxford North, or even obviously this way into Coventry, there's a lot of ambient noise from road traffic, whether it's A roads, motorways, but it doesn't distract you from the enjoyment in one sense. It's all part of it. It's all part of life in a city, or the major road artery, which the Midlands is at the end of the day, one of the major arteries of the UK. So I don't think you should be a bit too up your nose about it all. It's all part of the canal cruising experience, and as I said before, we've enjoyed our overnight stay and our trip, the 5.5 mile trip into the Coventry Basin. Right, another example of nice canal side dwellings. Excuse me. Obviously a little bit more further out from the city centre now, but it's still up, it's nice and smart. Very little litter or graffiti and damage on the towpath. Right, you get usual stuff on bridges and things like that, but generally a lot of effort has gone into tidying up the canal the way into Coventry. I'm guessing it's all part of the initiative as part of the capital culture for 2021. But it's a nice afternoon. We are still proceeding towards Hawkesbury Junction, and again we pass yet another very pleasant canal side dwellings, housing. Let me emphasise that actually what a nice little urban canal cruise this has been over the last day or so. We really quite enjoyed ourselves, and we've even been lucky enough to get a table in the Greyhound pub at Hawkesbury tonight for our tea, so it's a treat out. But you know what, it's actually been a nice pleasant 2 days. Going there into the Coventry Basin yesterday and heading back out to Hawkesbury Junction today. You know what, can't get better than this really. Right, another art installation coming up, folks. This is a concrete settee, but it's actually rather quite interesting. Just the Ashby Canal side of Hawkesbury Junction. Our home for tonight.